Meanwhile, though, I want to bring in Frank Luntz. He was outside the Capitol. He's a longtime GOP pollster and political strategist. He joins us from Washington. Frank, good to have you back on the show. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you. I partially want to apologize for viewers for this mess. I've got it over my shoulder right now. I live about 7 long blocks away from the Capitol, and what I saw, I never dreamed. The people carrying signs saying that we don't behave the same way as BLM. We police. And at the same moment that they say they respect the police, they're attacking the police. They're fighting with the police. That we don't trash our communities. We don't cause damage. And yet there's damage that happened in the Capitol. That it's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. And as a Republican, I never dreamed that this would happen with the people who I thought I shared some common ground with. But you know what? I'm glad that several years ago I decided to eschew partisanship. I'm glad that I consider myself a pollster, not a Republican, because today would be the most embarrassing day for Republicans nationwide. And this has been the worst 48 hours for the GOP that I can remember. And we're not done yet. We still got another 24 hours because even though they're going to go back to the debate tonight, they're not going to finish it tonight. It's going to go into tomorrow. So this will be 72 hours of an embarrassment for the Republican Party.
How did you feel in the midst of what was unfolding? You talk about the images on TV now, but you saw what was happening. It's always different watching it on TV than it is in person. What was it like?
It was scary because some people recognized me. Now, I was wearing a mask. I had a stroke earlier in the year, and I got to be careful. And I had people coming up to me saying, hey, who didn't know who I was, saying, why are you wearing a mask? What are you afraid of? And using derogatory language to describe that. And then I had a few people who did recognize me, and they put cameras in front of me and started yelling at me, trying to agitate me because I've been challenging what the president's been saying and how he's been saying it for some time now. And they wanted to provoke a fight. And I took the approach that you don't do that. But I was alone. And if something had happened, if they're going to behave that badly to the police, which they say they respect, how are they going to behave towards me when I'm a sometime journalist and I've been critical of the president and his language? So it was harrowing. That said, I did not know what was going on inside the Capitol. I knew what was going on right outside the Capitol. And what was going on inside is a disgrace.
When you found out what happened inside, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, as a journalist, I was thinking I should be there. As a friend of Kevin McCarthy, I was thinking, is my friend okay? As an American, I'm thinking, what the hell? Geez, I'm on live television, I get emotional. What are we doing? What's happening to our country? We're supposed to be this beacon of this light of hope and a shining city on a shining city on a hill, and we're an embarrassment. This is what you expect in a dictatorship. This is what you expect from a third world country, not from the U.S. And I just I'm thinking, why us? What have we done to have gotten to this point? And I'll tell you, I'm very, very angry at the president for what he said and for what he didn't say, because we knew that I knew this was a problem as early as 2, maybe 2:30. I could see it. I could see it in the reactions to the cops. I could see it in the mood of the audience around me. There were people who came to cause a fight. Why didn't the president tell them, stop, do not do this. This is not dignified. This is not America. This is not the process that you're supposed to follow. This is not democracy as we know it. Tell them to stop. And the president, in his statement, still talked about winning in a landslide. Yeah. What the hell? I'm cleaning up my language because that's not how I felt at the time. Donald Trump lost. And the idea that he cannot accept that he lost is causing a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of suffering this evening.
Would you have ever expected him to say otherwise? I mean, after all the opportunities he's had to say the right thing at the right time, why would this time have been different?
That's the right question to ask. And the right answer is, I would hope so. I would hope that just as we know when we've hurt someone, we know to say, I'm sorry, even if it's painful. We know to ask for forgiveness when we made serious mistakes. I would have hoped that in this moment, as things were looking bad, he would have said, stop, enough is enough. And by the way, Donald Trump is trusted by these people. His words, they listen to. His voice, they pay attention to. And the fact that he was silent, and when he had the chance to speak, he spoke for 1 minute. Joe Biden was far more expressive in his comments to these people than Donald Trump ever was. And if you saw the comments, what's on the banners, I guess I need to apologize. I was very critical of the 1,000-woman march the day after the election, or I should say the day after the inauguration, because of the language that they used, the offensive language. I saw just as many offensive posters in this march today. It's not just on the left, it's on the right. And you know what? The American democratic system, I'm sorry to say this, but the American democratic system is sick. There's a poison, there's a toxicity that exists right now. And it makes me respect you all in Canada much more. It makes me appreciate the fact that you trust your elected officials, that you may disagree, but you don't behave this way. Good for you. We could do a lot in America by learning from Canada.
Why does it make you so emotional?
Because it's not a joke to me. It's not a game to me. It's not a career to me. It's my life. I'm a professor. That's what I appreciate, the chance to teach my students. And they don't even know how much they matter to me. And I teach at NYU Abu Dhabi, the most international campus on the face of the earth. And I now have to face them and say to them that some of what I told you is not true. Do you know what it's like to have to admit that what you've been saying is not accurate? I mean, I'm looking at what's going on right now. I can see it 15 feet from me. And, oh God. I see the future, and I don't like what I see. And I'm embarrassed for what I see, and I'm sorry for what I see. And I wish I'd done more to prevent it. And there you go.
You talk about it being, a sickness. Is there a medicine when you look to the future? And I take your point that it's not looking too bright right now. But when you think more long term, is there a medicine for that ill that you point out?
There are people like Mitch Landrieu, who's the former mayor of New Orleans, and Tim Scott, who is the current senator from South Carolina. There are people who have hearts as big as all of Washington, as America, as Canada. We need those people to step up and try to help us heal. It's going to require Joe Biden to channel Bobby Kennedy. And I know you have a lot of listeners. All they need to do is Google Bobby Kennedy, Indianapolis, 1968, Martin Luther King speech. It was the greatest 5 minutes I've ever seen in English, where he begs people not to get violent. He begs people to love each other at the moment that he learned that Martin Luther King had been assassinated. That is the most beautiful speech I've ever heard. That's what Joe Biden needs to challenge, because Donald Trump is incapable of doing it. And we need love in this country right now. We need respect and civility and decency. We need to be, we need to hold our own sides accountable. Stop complaining about the others. And you, the journalistic community, you guys need to be accurate and precise, because the public trusts you to deliver them the information that they need to make the decisions for their lives and for their country. Journalism has never been more important than it is now, and that requires you to do your job as well as it possibly can be done. We all have to step up.
Understood. Frank, I'm going to leave it there. I do appreciate your candor and your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank Luntz joining us from Washington. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.